What's good, y'all? Welcome to an episode of Buzz Boys. And today, gonna be knocking out a few draft grade videos. Well, all four, I'm gonna knock them out today. So, starting first, man, Brandon Miller. If you think it's gonna be one of those videos where I bash him, I give him a D or an F, I'm telling you right now, this is not the video for you. This is not the video for that. You guys know on this channel, I don't like to bash players. I don't like to talk down on players if I don't have to. So, yeah, there will be none of that. I will give him a good grade. I'm telling you that now. So, it is what it is. But anyway, get past that. I just want to say thank you guys for 500 subscribers. That last video, you guys turned it up. Like, I looked at it and it had like 70 views, and then I looked at it again, it had like 200. I looked at it again and it just went up and up and up, and I wake up this morning, it's at like 2,000 something views. Lots of comments, a lot of interactions, which I love. I try to answer every comment back that I can. And man, we gained like 50, 60 subscribers just off one video, and I'm very thankful for y'all. I love y'all. And for those that's new to the channel, please stay tuned, because lots of content dropping within this next week. Like I said, 4 draft grade videos are coming. I'm going to do a video about Summer League, because the Summer League roster has been announced. So, you know, keep your eyes out for that. And, I mean, Summer League starts July 3rd for us at the California Classic, and then July 7th. So, you know, we got 2 different Summer Leagues to cover. Free agency starts July 1st. So it's just a lot to talk about. And, I'm really happy to be getting into it and sharing it with y'all. But anyway, enough of that lovey-dovey stuff. Let's get into the video. Brandon Miller, I'm gonna start out with his pros. His main attribute, shooting. He even, you know, claimed that Michael Jordan told him that he's just a shooter. But we all know he's more than that. He is a 3-level scorer. But his main thing is just shooting. He can shoot the fuck out the ball. It is what it is. He shot 39% in college. And somebody shooting 40% from 3 their freshman year, the star player, you know, he's getting the hardest looks on the floor, still managed to shoot 40% from 3. Yeah, that's a sniper. That's what we need right there. That's what this team desperately needs, is an efficient shooter. The Hornets have plenty of people that can give you 20 points a game, but is it going to be efficient 20 points? That's the Hornets' problem. And Brandon Miller, somebody that can come in and fix that at 6'9". Now, Brandon Miller, when asked at his introductory press conference what position he feels like he can play day one, his answer was the 3. He said he feels like he is a 3 right now. So, you know, that means him being a small forward, people saying start him over Terry. Well, I just don't see that happening, especially if Brandon Miller, out of his own mouth, hasn't necessarily stated that he feels comfortable playing the shooting guard yet. So I kind of expect him to be getting reps at the 3. Now, what's it going to be interesting? Does he start over Gordon? Does Gordon start over him? Does Miles play the 3? Does Miles play the 4? Does Miles come back at all? Does Peach? You know, there's a lot of questions to be answered this offseason, so we will have to see. But ultimately, he does see himself as a 3 right now. But, hey, man, you still shoot plenty of 3s playing the 3, so it doesn't matter. But anyway, like I said, his main pro, shooting. And then on top of that, he's a tough shot maker. You know, in college, like I said, you're the best guy. You're going to get the hardest looks on the floor. And, you know, guys closing out with their arms up, all of that, it doesn't bother him. And that's just something, I mean, being 6'9", shoot right over the top of guys. And, you know, some people are comparing him to Kevin Durant, Brandon Ingram, just anybody tall that can shoot. They compare him to anybody. Paul George, his GOAT. But, you know, in a way, it is something similar to that. He's 6'9", out there on the perimeter, shooting over guys like it's nothing. But that's something that you definitely want to see at the NBA level. Hands closing out, it doesn't bother you, because at the end of the day, in the NBA, these shots will be contested. Shots that might have been open in college will now be contested in the NBA. So the fact that he's already used to shooting right over the top of guys is great for him and should speed up his development. And another thing, NBA range. You know, sometimes guys are good shooters in college, but like they're right there. Their toe is barely on the line. They're right there. But you watch Brandon Miller's tape, he's pulling up from deep. He's pulling up from NBA range. So I 100% expect his shooting to translate. The only thing I can say about his shot that might not translate, his release point is kind of low. Like if you watch it, it's like it's not from his chest, but like it is low. And that's gonna be something where I see shooting coaches kind of trying to work and change just to get his release point just a little higher. But I mean, we'll see if he's not getting blocked often and stuff like that. I mean, I don't really see it changing too much if it works. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But that is one of the few things that I can say about his mechanics. His shot is a little low. But outside of that, he's already an NBA shooter because he's shooting from deep range, and he's ready. Another thing I liked while watching his film, he finds the open spot on the floor. Something that is very important as a shooter. You have to get into the passing lanes. Let guys see you. At the end of the day, you know, I know we've all been watching basketball or playing basketball where you're just wide open and you're like, but at the end of the day, if you're not in the spot where the guy with the ball can see you, doesn't matter. You shouldn't have to and clap to get the ball. Now, at the end of the day, NBA point guards, their vision is going to be even better. But I just love the way watching his film, the way he rotates towards the ball. He always stays in the eye line of the ball handler, and he's always ready to just catch and shoot. He's always ready to catch and shoot. And like I said, it's another thing that will translate directly into the NBA. I'm somebody who I fully expect Brandon Miller to contribute this year. If he spends time in Greensboro, I will be pretty pissed off about it. I don't think that's what's needed. I don't think him or Nick Smith really need Greensboro. I expect him to get real heavy minutes, well, at least Brandon Miller, heavy minutes this year because he's ready. You know, he's number 2 in the draft for a reason. I want to see him play. And like I talked about, shooting 40% on catch and shoot. 40% on catch and shoots. Like I said, he's there, he's ready. And LaMelo is also somebody who shot 40 in the 40s on catch and shoot. So it's gonna be interesting to see them play off each other, and you know, we can really start stretching out defenses, and that's gonna be beautiful because now you got Mark Williams in there. He can go to work. He can dunk on guys. It just opens up lanes, opens up cutting lanes, passing lanes when the offense is spread out and you have to honor the three-point shot. Because the Hornets were, I believe, 28th or 29th in three-point percentage last year. So we were not an efficient team at all. Another thing about Brandon Miller, he's a pull-up god. Like, he can come right down in transition, pull up. Off the ISO, pull up. Like, he just will shoot right in your fucking face and make it. Like, his pull-up game is strong, bro. Like, please watch his film. And shout out to Boxing One. They have great analysis, pros, cons. I watch them every year when it comes to draft analysis, so go check them out. But yeah, he's just a pull-up god. He's a pull-up god, ISO god. He will get you out there on that island, and he has the dribbling ability to break you down and pull up or just get past you. He is a good dribbler for his size. Can obviously get better, but he is a good dribbler for his size, enough to free him up for his shot, which is really all we need. We're not looking for him to be Kyrie Irving or anything. Another thing, his floater. His floater is strong. He doesn't jump too high on it, but at 6'9", you don't have to. And that's something where translating to the NBA, you know, guys who big men in college might be 6'9", 6'10", because sometimes I'm watching Alabama's film, he looks like the biggest on the floor. So, you know, 7-footers are the norm in the NBA. You're going to have to get used to, you know, getting the ball over those long arms when you're trying to attack the post. So his floater is something that he can get to, and he does have that in his bag. So that is an important tool for almost any young player translating to the NBA. You got to be able to get the ball up. Another thing he can do, bring the ball up the court. And this is something where we see the Hornets like to do anyway, is let multiple people bring the ball up the court. We've seen Gordon Hayward be the one that brings it up sometimes when he's playing. LaMelo, Terry, Miles, shit. You know, we've seen plenty of people bring the ball up the floor and initiate the offense. And Brandon Miller can slide right in and do that. He has the ability to bring the ball up the floor. He can pass with both hands. He can dribble. He can shoot off the pull-up. He can make the right read. He's somebody that you can trust with the ball, and it doesn't really matter exactly what position he's at. And I think he should fit perfectly into our positionless basketball, like, because sometimes, man, we just got guys out there. Sometimes we got 3 guards out there. Sometimes we're playing small. Sometimes we're playing big. Brandon can fit into all these lineups because he's just so versatile. And that's one of the main things I love about him, just the way that he can just do damn near everything. And like I said, he can pass with both hands. He can pass with his offhand, his left hand. He's a good left-handed passer. And that's something that translates directly into the NBA. It's some things that he can do that I don't want to say can't be taught. You can choose to teach passing and learn passing. But if you don't have the natural knack for it, the natural want to find the open guy and make the right play, it's going to be hard to instill that. And he already has that in him, which is another thing that I like. Now, moving on to the cons, plenty of pros, but every player has their cons. At the end of the day, he's a freshman coming out of college. He's not a perfect player. No player is. Now, even though he is a good passer, he still had more turnovers than assists and had a negative turnover to assist ratio. Now, obviously, it's something that can be worked on. But like I said, when you're the best player, you get the hardest looks, you get the most pressure. And that is also something that is a problem for him. Pressure. When he gets blitzed, he tends to start to over dribble, and it can turn to a turnover. So that's something where he definitely needs to focus on, get better at, is that when he sees bodies, he just kind of gets discombobulated in a way and turns the ball over. And it's just his dribbling. He dribbles too much. He dribbles too much, trying to create for himself, trying to create for others, which in a way is a good thing. It can be fixed. It will be cleaned up. But he sometimes dribbles into trouble, where it's just like, if you would have passed the ball earlier into the set, let the point guard handle it. And at the end of the day, in the NBA, he's going to learn that very quickly. Like, yo, get the ball to LaMelo and sometimes just get the fuck out the way. But, yeah, that's one thing. His dribbling is something that definitely needs to be worked on. It's something that he can do, but he's not an NBA point guard level dribbler or anything like that. His dribbling can still lead to turnovers if he has the ball in his hands for too long. And one thing, he can get out of control sometimes, lead to charges. You know, just dribbling out of control, not having the momentum to stop on a dime. Like, once he gets downhill, his mind is made up and it leads directly to a charge. So yeah, there's that. Just the offensive fouls that can accumulate. Even sometimes trying to push off with the off arm, something that, you know, refs seem to be cracking down on pretty heavily. If you watch Hornets games, you already know who I'm going to mention right here. Gordon Hayward, somebody who gets an offensive foul 2 to 3 times a game, like trying to push off and do the little turnaround jumper. They hit him with that a lot, and that's one of Brandon Miller's go-to moves, is that turnaround drop step jumper. So, you know, that's something that's going to have to be cleaned up, and something that I wouldn't be surprised if we just see his rookie year, him getting offensive fouls. I'm just telling you now, it is what it is. Everybody has a learning curve, and it just is what it is. another thing, the last con, even though he can go both ways, he can pass with both hands. Sometimes he does struggle scoring with his left, driving to the left, and sometimes he picks his dribble up like just too far away from the basket, which leads to him trying to just like throw the ball up. And in the NBA, that's getting beat. That's getting beat off the glass. It's going in this row 6. It's gone. So it's just really a few things that he needs to work on. It's not major stuff, but at the end of the day, it's stuff that can get cleaned up, stuff that he can get better at. It doesn't matter what position you play. As a rookie, you expect silly fouls, you expect turnovers. It comes with a rookie translating into the NBA. It is what it is. He doesn't have any major red flags on the court anyway. On the court anyway, that scares me. I think he's not going to be ready. He's a great player, y'all. And like I said in my last video, it's time to support him. He is our guy. There is no changing that at this point. So, you know, Hornets fans, you know, just put our support behind the guy because he's not going anywhere, okay? It is what it is. Time to let it go. Brandon Miller is our guy. And, you know, I've been seeing him, like I said, I've been seeing him get compared to a lot of people. Some people, Kevin Durant, Jason Tatum, Brandon Ingram, Paul George. If he can become any of those players for us, the Hornets' future is very bright. Very bright. If he can become any of that with LaMelo, with Miles, and another thing that just made me so happy, man, to like be watching First Take, you know, national TV media, and hearing them talk about the Hornets, hearing Stephen A. Smith talk about the Hornets' big three with LaMelo and Brandon Miller and Miles. Them even talking about how Nick Smith was a steal, how he was the #1 prospect. Like, that makes me feel that much better about this draft class. Because, you know, regardless of how you feel about some of these national TV shows or whatever, the Hornets don't get mentioned on them often. So it made me feel good to be watching First Take and hearing them talk about the Hornets in a positive light, talking about Miller and Miles Bridges. Man, if Stephen A.'s talking about Miles Bridges, he must be coming back. I'm pretty sure Miles coming back. I'm like 95% sure. And even, bro, damn, I forget his name. He does great basketball analysis too, bro. I can't think of his name. But talking about the value that we got in Nick Smith and how we had a great draft, that makes me feel very good to hear our prospects be getting talked about on national TV. I don't care what anybody says. It feels good. The Hornets don't get a lot of national TV attention, so that felt good. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. I got 3 more draft grade videos to get into. But last but not least, got to give out the grade. To me, I give Brandon Miller, I give the pick an A-. I'm contemplating between an A and an A-, but you know what? I'm changing the A. I'm changing the A. Just because, no, stick with A-. I'm sorry. Stick with A- just because the off-the-court troubles is still in the back of my mind. Like, what he, the controversy, that not even controversy, just what he was involved in is something major. Like, I can't just ignore it. I can't ignore it. Somebody died, bro. Like, I can't ignore it, even though he is innocent. The police say he didn't play a part. Like, you know, it just still, just the off the court, just a little bit drops me down just a little bit to A-, but he's still a wonderful basketball player. And you know, a lot of people are making fun of him right now because he said, you know, he wants the Hornets to win the finals next year. That's what I want to hear my draft prospect say. That's what I want to hear my draft pick say. I want my draft pick delusional. Say that we're going to the finals. That's what I want to hear. But, you know, what's crazy is that we just watched the 8th seed go to the finals. But if anybody else on the 8th seed says anything about the finals, they're a laughing stock. Like, you know, everybody's crazy to the right, man. So, hey, you never know. Hornets to the fucking finals, man, 2024. But Anyways, about to wrap this up. A minus, man. That's what I give him. I believe CBS Sports gave him an A or A minus too. All of these picks are going to be A's and B's. I'm telling y'all that right now. I'm not giving anybody a D or a F or anything like that because we had a good draft. We had a great draft. So to me, I'm gonna have to go. A minus. I'm teetering between A and A minus still. The only person I saw get an A plus was Victor. But yeah, Brandon Miller, I have to say A minus. I'm gonna say A minus. It is what it is. I'm still very happy with that. I wish there was a middle ground between A and A minus, but I'm gonna go with A minus right now. Summer League is coming up. Hopefully he balls out and just turns to A plus, because we're gonna see a matchup with Victor twice in a 4-day span. July 3rd, he's going to play Victor. July 7th, he's going to play Victor. So we're going to be able to see just exactly how good Brandon Miller is very soon, playing with cream of the crop competition very soon. But anyways, like I said, I'm about to wrap this up. Got 3 more videos to do for y'all today, maybe 4. I'm about to crank these out for y'all because y'all are showing me so much love on the channel. I have to. Anyways, I'll catch y'all on the next one. Peace.